again, we've just left those soldiers to recuperate, and some of them obviously didn't want to talk to us because a lot of people, unfortunately, with the horrific things that the war brings.
I want to do like this with you.
Yeah, yeah. The horrific.
Now Sean looks like me.
What?
Nobody see that I'm bald.
But I say they don't really need to give you one, do they? So we're very lucky. Very lucky that we're going to be able to see the operating theatres. Or did they want us to operate on some people? Dr. Jenny. Dr. Jenny? It's Velcro. It just pushes. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Jackie. Like a cape. Superhero.
I have an experience of
Medical.
surgical time. Yeah, I know that this is correct. Yeah, wearing.
Yeah, you put it on backwards. You put it on backwards. I'm wearing it. I'm wearing it Zelensky style. This is Zelensky style because he never puts them on.
But now,
Jackie.
Jenny will be a real surgeon.
Thank you.
It has to be like this, and that's why all is working like this. It's because hands, after when surgeons are preparing to operation, they are preparing their hands.
Yes.
First, it's a long washing, and when they are going, they are just putting hands like this, and nurse is helping and fixing
The back.
And this is pulling.
Sterile. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Jackie Van. Oops. Fail. Has it got Velcro?
Sorry.
А я такого, да,
This Zelensky style is not enough.
It's just one of the example of operation room. As you see, renovation.
Yeah, it's after renovation.
Yes, it's after renovation, but it's generally looks not such a bad. But if you want to see, for example, table, his old one, and his for example, hands, or it's not such a in good
in a good condition.
In a good condition.
Yeah.
So if it would be better, if it would be new, it will be better and more comfortable for us. And if you see, it's not electricity, it's dry, just manual. Yes, it means it's old one. And for example, electrosurgical coagulation, we already have new ones, but we are not have such a lot new ones because this one, for example, is working, but it's such a old that it was made in the Soviet Union. Yeah, if you understand, this is about 40 years old.
Yeah.
Here is a year of production. Yes, probably. No, it's a number. It's a number, yeah. But and very often it's writing a year of production. Yes.
Yeah, I say the wiring. I say it's definitely it's been well used.
Is anybody watching and who can donate Okay, well, they need it in the space.
This is
80, it's 46 years old.
and we still using. We have already new one, but we don't have such a lot for all operation rooms. In this urgent room, so we must use this one.
Drone camera.
I've only ever seen this room from the other end of that camera.
Yeah, probably
From
yes.
the Sergei Arian
Yeah, I think
office.
that you saw from Sergei Arian, but not this room.
Oh, right, okay. So,
Yeah.
how many operating theatres have you got in this entire hospital then?
Sorry.
How many theatres? How many operating theatres?
I am head of this department, of this operation department. So we have here not about 8 operation rooms, such as, for example, general surgery, cardio surgery, urologic surgery, thorax surgery. This room is urgent. Here we are making all urgent operation. It could be general surgery or neuro surgery. So 8 operation room.
Yeah.
With different
Directions.
With directions, yes.
And we know from the orthopedic trauma and orthopedic department they are doing 35, 40 operations per day.
Here we are doing sometimes it depends day from the day, but on this floor in this 8 operation room it's about 30 per day. Operations, yeah.
Is that all mainly soldiers, or are you getting lots of civilians as well?
Also civilian, yes.
But it's definitely increased.
But everyone's a civilian. Well, if you're injured,
Yeah.
you're not a combatant anymore. So you become a civilian
Yeah,
anyway.
what I mean is that because of the war, you've got soldiers and it's increased a lot.
We have soldiers generally every week. Our hospital gets from 40 to 100 soldiers every week. Once a week we have a train with soldiers, and it depends. Sometimes there is more, sometimes less.
And how do you accommodate all these extra casualties in the hospital? Do you have to then send them to other hospitals to make room, or can you accommodate them all?
Generally, when they came to Thermopylae region, first of all of the soldiers came to our hospital. Here we are making most difficult operations, and if we see that there is no reason to make him other operations, so he will be healthy, but he needs just some time and dressing. We sell them in different hospitals in our region, just for dressing and rehabilitation. Yeah.
Could you just describe the day of the horrific attack on Ternopil?
Yesterday, you...
No, the other horrific attack. November, is it November? Early November, or is it end of October?
21. Yeah, it was hard day because in the morning our chief called everybody and tells that and about 5 a.m. 5 a.m. Everybody must be in hospital, and our hospital took in 1 hour about 35 civilian people with different injuries. So we was making about 20 operation on that day. Somebody we couldn't save because that injury was
So severe, so severe.
It was too difficult
too
injury.
difficult injury, yeah. And they was just bleeding till they come to our hospital.
How long did it take to get patients in from the initial attack?
To treat our patient and let's say, treat them, it was take us about 2 weeks to finish all
Yeah. From the attack. How long was it from that to when you started receiving patients? Were they here very quickly, or?
It was about half an hour. Yeah, they started to came for us with emergency started come to us.
Because it was, I think some of the doctors have described to me of being overwhelmed by the number of casualties, and the need, certainly was a huge issue, and there just wasn't really enough experience, to deal with like 40 severe trauma injuries in one go, or was it 100 and whatever in the end, that day in total.
But not even our hospital was working in that day. And that day was all hospitals in our town was working. Yes, we just took some part of the people who was
it's only 35 about people is only in this hospital, and it was in different hospitals.
I think Oxlana was speaking to us, wasn't she?
Yeah.
On our last visit.
In Pitboloches.
Yeah, even in Pitboloches, they took preparations.
Do you think that was the worst that's been seen here since the full-scale invasion, or has there been other attacks that you've sort of had that number of casualties?
That time it was the biggest attack with injured civilian people. We've got already attacks in Ternopil, but in that day, a lot of people was постраждали. Hurted, yeah.
It was the biggest attack, and it's the biggest quantity of injured civilians from the beginning of our region, because in our region is one of the safest area in Ukraine.
You just remind me how many people were injured and died on that day was it October? Or was it the beginning of November? How many? I think, was it 30 people died?
Officially, it was about 40 per person. But it was a lot of injured people, and
106 or something like that.
Thanks to doctors, and they work good, and thanks to all donors that we have enough possibilities, to give to make this all medical services, at the beginning from ambulances, bandages and all that they need to work. And also it's a big thanks for all donors that they organized, and they make real that operations rooms, operations theaters are possible to take this aid, for example, only in this floor, only in the civil departments, it's 8 operations theaters.
Do you have a program in Ternopil where doctors, like in a mass casualty event like that, or an incident where paramedics, which are sort of like doctor level ambulance drivers, or doctors would actually go out to the scene of the incident and triage and treat people at the scene of the incident directly?
First, it's a different between, I don't know now, but I know that previous, and every ambulance is a doctor, not a paramedic. Now it's the same, yes?
Yes, yes.
It's different between Great Britain or European system, that in European system in ambulances, it's paramedics, it's not doctors.
Mm-hmm.
In Ukrainian system, in ambulance, is a doctor.
Okay.
Which means if ambulance are going to a place of attack, and doctor are personally on a place of attack, and it helps to make correct action, correct sorting, to help them on a place or to move them to different hospitals. This is also important. It's a difference between systems, between organizing of medical service from the place of hurting until the hospital.
Is there is there the same sort of facilities you have with incident response vehicles? Like the ambulance crews have got larger vehicles with more supplies and even mobile operating theatres that can be sent to the incident.
I think that it's ambulance mostly has all for make first aid in different situations. But of course, if you are talking about missile attack, and it's not possible to make an operation on a place of, but it's thanks to doctors, thanks to management, thanks to organization, a lot of donors outside. First, if in one day, in one place, are 30, 40 injured, it means that we need 30, 40 ambulances. And this is a problem. If, for example, hurting in, I don't know, in a big city, and it's 100 person and 100 injured, 100 persons that need to move to hospitals. This is a problem, because we need 100 ambulances, and this is not possible mostly. That's why if it's missiles attack and combined with drones attack, we need a lot of ambulances just in one time to bring them and to react.
Have they done any sort of like training and rehearsals of mass casualty events with the hospitals and the ambulance crews previously?
Yeah, of course, they have a lot of trainings, and now in Ukraine, a lot of civilians, military experience and without experience guys, they have an experience to make a first aid. And this is also important during wartime, when attack can be every day.
Perhaps there could be some sort of initiative to give free trauma training to the civilians as well.
Yes, and I think that in Ukraine now it's a lot of free trauma training for civilians and even for children in school. Yes, it's now a lot of initiatives.
You know, we try and do it with scouts a lot. We do a lot of first aid and CPR, CPR and just general first aid and all the rest of it. But I think in Ukraine you need a whole nother level of first aid training and the tourniquets, because we don't teach tourniquets or anything like that to children in the UK. But yeah, it's something that I think a lot of people could benefit from, having an understanding of what to do in an emergency like you've seen, because I've noticed over the past 3 months the situation now is deteriorating in the west of Ukraine, because the Russians are perhaps more desperate and they're throwing everything they can at Ukraine.
I just want to say that for every European Great Britain citizen, if you are hearing this video, just we'll buy now, we'll find cheapest, good quality IFAX. It's for first aid. We'll buy not just some bandages like a classical first aid in vehicles. It has to be with tourniquets, it has to be with a special help when it's injured chest, and it has to be with a special substance that are stopping bleeding, and just we'll buy it, and we'll find even in YouTube how to use it. How to use if people without breathing, if people lost just something cutting without big bleeding of lips, and yeah, that when you have to use, you have to know how to use tourniquet, and it's just for having this in vehicle, because nobody will call to you and will say that tomorrow Putin will attack your city. You will know this, it will be too late. And if you will have in your car an IFAX and the first aid kit, real first aid kit with the tourniquets and with a stop bleeding system, and with chest trauma, special substance, it's you will know how to use it. You will go to vehicle and you will save your close family, relatives, and it can help. And it's just very simple. It's not so.
Or if you're on holiday in Dubai, even have an IFAC, because this is Shahid might have your name on it.
Yeah, it's just sorry for it. It's not funny that it's if you are going to spend time in some country, hot country, and nobody knows when and where, Iran, Russia, or China, or North Korea will attack, and it can be same country that you are on holiday, and it will be better to have just a small bag that it will be with you and you know how to use it.
And keep you and your family alive in these times, these strange times. And I call them the axis of upheaval. So it's like upheaval, axis of change, basically, that they're trying to force this sort of change of the whole geopolitical situation, they keep telling us that there's international law doesn't exist anymore, but it still does. But they just keep telling us that it doesn't. So hopefully if they say it enough, they can get away with it.
Yeah, everybody can make a simple steps, just IFAX, just first real aid kit can help for you.
I think before that, I think people have to now stand up and realise that this is happening. It's been happening here in Ukraine for many, many years, but this latest one is on its 5th year. And people out there, you've got to realise that it can happen to any of us at any time. We've got to be prepared. These people here in Ukraine, they've been suffering for years and years and years, and they're still not completely ready for what is thrown at them, because it's always something new. But you've got to be prepared. You've got to stand up. You've got to take responsibility, because you have families, you have homes. Please don't shut your doors and pretend it's not happening, because it is happening. And we see so much change every time we come here, and the work that's being done, and you know, we've got to take our hats off to you, because you're just amazing. And you work in clean conditions, but some of your equipment is very, very old, and you could do with some help in that area as well. And if anybody's watching these videos that Sean does and puts out there, we don't put them out there for our fun or anything. They're there to show you. Well, in a way, yes, to scare you that this could happen.
No, I don't want to scare you, but you know, World War III is coming to a city near you soon, so get your eyes back.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's when I first came to this hospital, I mean, so much has been done here. There's a huge amount of work and refurbishment. I mean, as I say, it was 2022. I think I last first come here with one of our first deliveries, and many since then. And yes, the equipment is old, but it works. And the staff will utilise everything, every tool, no matter how old it is, to do their best. And the least that we can do back home, you do get lulled into a very false sense of security, because you don't have the air raid sirens going off and the bombs falling on you yet. But the least we can do is to support the Ukrainians, so they can solve this problem. They can go to Moscow and they can get rid of the problem, and I think they're the best people to do the job. So let's support them, and let's stop this war from spreading to the rest of Europe, and let's get it done. And we will win together, if everyone does their little bit. And what is the priority at the moment for you? What's your biggest bugbear about, we need this, or why haven't we got any more of them?
Electrosurgical stuff that could anybody give us, we would take. For example, coagulation system, some system for cutting vessels, like Lihashu, for example. Also, we need machines for sterilization instruments.
Autoclaves.
Autoclaves, yeah. And it could be other type of sterilization for special instruments, like laparoscopic instruments. Yeah, it's a special machine, or we don't have. It would be really good for us. What else? Different instruments that we can use a few times. Not instruments that we use once and that's all. That instruments that we could use many times.
I think we've got used to a lot of disposable stuff within our health authorities back home, and it's not really a lot of stuff that's sort of reusable. It's sort of use once and throw away, isn't it? So reusable equipment is the key, and sterilization of that equipment. And
for example, tables.
Yes.
Multifunctional tables would be good for us.
So, I mean, I think one of the messages we need to make people aware, if you work in the National Health Service, the NHS, or someone that works in the NHS, and they say, oh, we're having a refit and everything's been skipped. Please don't skip it, because it's a lot better than what we've got here, and we can make use of it, and basically it can save lives. So unfortunately, we throw a lot of perfectly good stuff away because they got money to spend, they have a new, they got nowhere to store it, so it goes to the scrap metal dealers, and it's expensive medical equipment. You know, it's not a good idea. And my pleas are to any politicians who've got half a brain and anyone working in the NHS, please partner with charities and organisations that will repurpose this equipment, because we have an emergency situation here in Ukraine with pregnant ladies, children's hospitals, old people's homes, churches, you know, basically factories, anyone and everyone being targeted on a daily basis. You know, yesterday there was a pregnant lady killed in Ivano-Frankivsk from a drone attack. I mean, we were in a traffic jam, you know, and they were trying to kill us in a traffic jam, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, you've got to understand that these people have to be stopped. But first, we need to help the Ukrainians to deal with the situation and give them the tools they need to do the job. So a big thank you to the doctor for showing us this one particular operating theatre, and it's looking a lot better than previous. This I didn't go in this one, but over the other side previously, and yeah, we will try and continue to get all the equipment that they need. And I say these type of facilities to medical workers around the world will look very familiar in layout, because it's sort of the same really, you know, everywhere you go, with the hand washing facilities and you know, the operating theatre and the anaesthetist, anesthesiologist equipment, you know, so it's the same sort of equipment that they're using. And I say a lot of this stuff, when it gets updated and renewed, it's useless to...
So things like this.
Yeah, reusable air pipes and things, and there is actually, I think I sent you a list, didn't I, of some air pipes and things that there was in Bristol that we can have access to. So, but yeah, it's equipment that when it gets updated and replaced, it's useless to anyone else apart from a hospital. So why not send it to a hospital that can use it in Ukraine, or in any other emergency situation that needs the equipment, you know, so.
One question I wanted to ask you, Doctor. You said you were the head of the department.
Yeah.
Do you take active part in operations as well?
Yeah, for sure. I am head of this department, and also I am a surgeon, and I also make in surgical operation difference.
And how many surgeons do you have under you, what you are responsible for?
How many surgeons are responsible for? Here is working about 20-30 surgeons every day in all different operation room. So with my responsibility to help them to make a good operation with good equipment. So it's my responsibility, and also I am making
and yourself as well.
Myself, yeah.
Do you specialize in one sort of?
Yeah, I'm general surgeon. Such it's different abdominal problems, hands, legs. Also, that I'm doing. In general surgery.
What's the weirdest thing you've removed from someone's butt? I'm joking.
I wanted to tell you once I took off trousers from chest. It was a soldier. He was for a few days in a position, so he was a hole in his chest. He was bleeding, and his brothers were they don't know what should they do, and they took trousers and pushed him in his chest.
As a compression dressing.
Yes, Yes.
Yeah.
And that trousers came from Dnipro, from
From the
front
front
line
line.
here,
Wow.
and we took it from him here. Yeah.
Incredible.
Did he survive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah.
So you must keep those trousers.
Yeah, I was
in the
treating
souvenir.
him about 3 months
Wow.
of. No, he just some have some
Scarring.
scar, yeah. But his function also. He can move his hand. Even they didn't have part of his, so we were like said, ключица. Clavicular, yeah. He lost his clavicular. So the orthopedics helped me to prosthetic, yes, his clavicular, so he's functional now.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he's now he's still on a war, but he just driver. Yeah.
Do you have like a Surgeon of the Month award where they put your picture on the wall? Surgeon of the Month? Perhaps they should.
Хирург месяца не
Or does Sergei Haryan win every month?
Yeah, it's the other department. Yeah, and yeah, he's winner in his department because he's the chief of orthopedic and trauma department. Yeah, but yeah, it's a different departments and it's different patients and they have a lot of work with orthopedic and trauma injury and also Vasilij has here also a big team. It's 8 different theaters and they are making here also about 30 operations per day and it's a lot of wounded soldiers and if every soldier has a lot of operations, yeah, somebody is doing this and
you've got to be doing something right because I know a lot of Ukrainians would prefer to come back to Ukraine for medical attention rather than wait for our National Health Service to finally get round to it. You know,
I think that Vasilij and other surgeons now have so big experience of treating different types of explosion wounds that they can share it in the whole world. But it's yeah, I think that they prefer not have this experience that have, but now they passed through all this experience and big thanks for Vasilij for all.
I'd like to
Yes.
say thank you as well.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the time to show us reality. I know it's very upsetting, especially when we see young men, I haven't met any young women yet, but young men with such horrendous injuries. But seeing Ihor today, his positivity, and hopefully that will continue. But without people like yourself to get them to that point, you know, so we not only Ukrainians, we all owe you a debt of gratitude. And like I said, thank you for taking your time. I'm sure you're very, very busy. And
Thank you for helping us to do it.
yeah, well, it's the right thing to do. Whatever, when people say to us, oh, why are you going there? Or you're heroes. I say, no, we're not the heroes. They are the heroes. We are all doing what's right. And everybody needs to understand that. And we're not doing it for any fame or fortune or anything like that, because we're all self-funded. We're doing it because it's right. And I would hate that to come to where I live and see, because I still got children of fighting age. My grandchildren are growing and they're getting to that age. I don't want them to see what Ukrainians are seeing. I mean, we see a bit of it, and I don't want my children to see that. I'm an ex-police officer, so I have seen a lot of injuries, gunshot wounds, hangings, lots of things, and it gives me a bit of an advantage coming here. But what we see of the aftermath, it's always the aftermath. When it happens, and you have no control over it, and you can't take it back. It's what you do after that next step and how you approach it. And I mean, I've said it as time and time again, your experience, your technology in yourself, not in machines, is just unbelievable. And I'm proud every time to meet somebody new, and people like yourselves. So thank you.
Everybody is a hero for doing something for positive job.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious. It should be pretty obvious even to the idiots out there that Ukraine is on the side of good. Only evil would target women and children and innocent civilians. So it's pretty obvious which side is on the side of good here. There's no way you can disguise anything that the Kremlin is doing as ethical, even civilized. None of it follows the rules of war. None of it follows international law. It is pure evil. That's what it comes down to. So we will continue, and we will basically try to bring light in these dark times, and I think people really have to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, against this type of brutality, evil, this uncivilized acts of aggression on Ukraine. Because just because Ukraine won't bow the knee to Moscow. So yeah, it's definitely I can hear the plane buzzing or something buzzing out there. So let's finish this up and move out of here. And thank you everyone for joining us again. Thank you again to the doctor for bringing us into this refurbished room. Please reach out to us if you have anything surgical that can help Ukraine and help win this war for freedom. And we all win together. Slava Ukraini. Heroam Slava.